This is Hailee Steinfeld, Oscar nominated at 14 and still working like she has something to prove. She broke out in True Grit in 2010. 14 years later, she's acting, producing, releasing music, and building a brand. This is the story of how Hailee Steinfeld turned early fame into long-term control. Hailee Steinfeld's first big moment came fast and early. At just 14, she was nominated for an Oscar for her role in True Grit, holding her own next to Jeff Bridges in a film that could have easily swallowed a newcomer. Most young actors would either fade or fumble with that kind of pressure. She didn't. She just kept going. Instead of clinging to prestige dramas or trying to recreate that early acclaim, Hailee went where the work made sense. She joined the Pitch Perfect series, not only fitting into an established franchise but also bringing something fresh to it in the second and third films. Then came The Edge of 17, which didn't feel like a teen movie in the usual way. It was sharp, awkward, and honest. She made it land because she played it like someone who actually knew what that kind of loneliness felt like. That role earned her a Golden Globe nomination. But more importantly, it showed she could carry a story without needing a massive set piece behind her. She did Bumblebee next, front and center in a Transformers movie that surprised people by being more grounded than expected. It worked because she didn't treat it like a paycheck or a blockbuster formality. She made the lead character feel real, which isn't easy when your scene partner is a giant robot. More recently, she entered the Marvel world as Kate Bishop in Hawkeye on Disney+, acting alongside Jeremy Renner. It wasn't just a big part or a cameo, she was clearly being positioned for more, and audiences clicked with her right away. That show expanded her reach in a big way, especially to fans who maybe didn't know her from earlier films or her music career. What's clear in all of this is that Hailee never treated acting like a waiting game. She's worked steadily, choosing parts that connect rather than looking impressive on paper. There is a confidence in that, taking projects that speak to where she is, not where someone thinks she should be. She's never stopped moving forward, but she's also never forced the pace. Hailee Steinfeld's music career wasn't just a side project to fill time between film roles. It was a serious move that paid off quickly. After signing with Republic Records, she released Love Myself in 2015, a bold debut single that went platinum and immediately set the tone for how she wanted to sound and be seen. The track didn't come off like a one-time thing, it was radio-ready, self-aware, and unapologetically catchy. And more importantly, it showed she could hold her own in a crowded pop market. That was followed by a run of successful singles including Starving, a collaboration with Gray and Zedd, which climbed the Billboard charts and racked up over 800 million streams on Spotify. Other songs like Most Girls and Let Me Go only added to the momentum. She wasn't dropping albums every year, but the singles were strong enough to keep her in the mix, with consistent airplay and streaming numbers that spoke for themselves. Her 2020 EP Half Written Story took a more personal direction, with tracks like Wrong Direction rumored to be inspired by a high-profile breakup. It was less polished pop, more vulnerable, but again it worked. The numbers back it up. As of now, she's passed the 2 billion stream mark in Spotify alone. That doesn't just translate into visibility, it's real income. Between royalties, digital downloads, and licensing deals for use in ads and film, the songs keep paying even when she's off tour. On top of that, she's involved in the writing process for much of her music, which means a bigger cut of the back end. Touring has also played a role, though she's taken a more selective approach compared to full-time pop stars. She's opened for major acts like Meghan Trainor and Katy Perry, giving her arena-level exposure without the full demands of a headlining tour. That balance has allowed her to keep building both careers without burning out either. With acting and music running side by side, Hailee began attracting a different kind of attention. One that came with serious business potential. When Hailee Steinfeld got involved with brands, it wasn't just about showing up in a commercial or doing a few photo shoots. She was careful with where her name showed up and who she worked with. Take her role with Mission. The athletic wear and accessories brand, instead of just being a face for the product, she worked directly on items like cooling towels and active wear that matched her lifestyle. Stuff she actually used. Especially with her music rehearsals and workouts, it made sense for her and it showed. Then there was her partnership with Preve Revo. That one stood out because she wasn't just wearing sunglasses for a campaign, she was on the founding team. She had a say in what styles they made, how they looked, and how they were marketed. It wasn't your typical licensing deal, she got involved early, took some ownership and stuck around while the brand grew, which is rare for a celebrity partnership. She also signed on with Core Hydration. Again, not a flashy brand, but one that lines up with how she actually lives. If you watched her press junkets or behind-the-scenes clips, that water bottle wasn't just there for show, it became a regular part of her offstage image without feeling forced. Hailee also worked with fashion labels like Miu Miu, where she became the face of their campaign during a time when the brand was pushing a younger, edgier look. She didn't just wear the clothes, she fit the direction the brand was moving in. Same thing with Likey Women. That campaign wasn't just about looking sporty in ads, she brought that dancer's discipline and energy to the shoot, which gave the images a sense of motion rather than posing. What ties all of this together is that she didn't jump at every offer. You didn't see her attached to 100 random products, the partnerships she took on made sense for who she was and what she actually did day to day. And in most cases, she got involved beyond just showing up. That's not something every celebrity is willing to do, especially when the fast money's on the table. While the other celebrities signed quick deals, Hailee was thinking long-term, especially when it came to control. Hailee Steinfeld's role in Dickinson wasn't just another acting credit, it marked a shift in how she was showing up in the industry. When Apple TV Plus launched the show in 2019, she wasn't just playing the lead role of Emily Dickinson, she also came on board as an executive producer, which meant she had a seat at the table when real decisions were being made. That included everything from casting to creative tone, and even how the show was marketed. This wasn't just for show. According to interviews, Steinfeld worked closely with creator Elena Smith to shape the vibe of Dickinson, which blended period drama with modern language and themes. That balance was risky, it could have felt forced, but it landed well with viewers, especially younger audiences who found something similar in a story that was technically set in the 1800s. The show ran for 3 seasons and earned strong reviews, helping Apple TV Plus build credibility during its early push into original content. Being a producer also meant more than a salary bump. It meant back-end deals, more input into future project negotiations, and a stronger case for future control on both sides of the camera. In an industry where many actors still wait to be cast in someone else's story, Hailee was already helping write her own. Not literally writing scripts, but shaping what got greenlit and how it came together. That kind of influence is rare for someone still in their 20s. It also gave her a foundation to build on. Whether you are a producer, your reputation changes in the room. Studios don't just see you as talent, they see you as someone who can deliver. That matters when negotiating future deals, whether it's for TV, film, or partnerships outside of entertainment. What Dickinson proved was that Hailee wasn't interested in playing it safe. She wanted work that felt personal, and she wanted control over how that work reached people. And she earned that control not by demanding it, but by showing how she could handle it. She was already making millions, but she wasn't spending like someone chasing trends. Her lifestyle is built around access, not excess. Hailee Steinfeld doesn't chase headlines when it comes to money. She reportedly bought property in California a few years ago, but unlike some of her peers, there wasn't a photo spread or drone footage showing off a palatial estate. No marble fountains or 10-car garages posted on Instagram, she's avoided the showy route. What she has instead is a reputation for being measured. Someone who actually lives in her house rather than treating it like a movie set. She's also stayed mostly out of the usual luxury cycle. No viral moments at the Met Gala after parties or $300,000 outfits designed to shock. If she wears something expensive, it tends to serve a purpose, not a headline. That kind of approach carries over to how she invests. Instead of launching her own flashy brand or making noise about her portfolio, she's made quiet moves into sectors like digital wellness and clean beauty. Not through loud endorsements, but through quiet equity stakes. People close to the business say she's got a share in at least one tech platform focused on mental health. And she has been circling the clean skincare space for a while. No major press releases, just patient positioning. It's not that she's hiding, she still shows up to support her work and promote the things she cares about, but she doesn't let her personal life become content. That part stays offline. You don't see paparazzi shots of her leaving restaurants 3 nights a week or random live videos from her kitchen. It's controlled, but not in a stiff way. She's just not putting her private time up for public debate. That control has given her space to grow quietly in directions most people don't see coming. She has been spotted at tech conferences and small wellness industry events, not in a guest of honor way, but just being there, asking questions, taking notes. She is doing the homework without needing to be graded on it in public. But just because she's quiet doesn't mean she's standing still. Hailee's staying relevant by staying in motion and in the right rooms. Hailee Steinfeld's style has always seemed effortless, but it's far from accidental. Over the years, she has carved out a place for herself in fashion that feels consistent and intentional. Not overdone, not performative. She is not just someone who shows up on red carpets because she has to, she shows up looking like she belongs there. And more often than not, she stands out in a room full of people trying just as hard. She's been a regular at major events like the Met Gala, often choosing looks that balance sophistication with a little edge. Her 2018 look, a Prabal Gurung mini dress with a dramatic train, landed her on multiple best dressed lists. It didn't feel like she was chasing attention, it felt like she knew exactly what she was doing. That same energy followed her to Paris Fashion Week, where she's been seen in front row seats at shows for brands like Valentino and Balmain. She's not there as a plus one, she's there because designers see her as part of the conversation. A big part of that presence comes down to her longtime stylists, Rob Zangardi and Marielle Hain. The same duo behind looks for stars like Jennifer Lopez and Lily Collins. They've helped Hailee build a look that doesn't lean too far into trends but still evolves. Whether it's a structured jumpsuit on a press tour, on a minimal gown at a premiere, there's a through line: confidence without flash. This consistency is why luxury brands want to work with her. She has already collaborated with Miu Miu and been featured in campaigns that push a clean, modern aesthetic. Her appeal isn't based on shock value or viral stunts, it's based on reliability. And in fashion, that's actually rare. Being known for style without being constantly reinvented is its own kind of influence. Hailee's fashion sense isn't loud, but it's effective. It keeps her in the mix without requiring a constant push for attention. She wears the clothes, they don't wear her. And even with the red carpets and the shows, what really sets her apart is how she's kept her name clean and her brand sharp. Hailee Steinfeld's not the kind of celebrity you see popping up in scandal headlines or Instagram drama. You won't find her airing out personal issues on social media or trying to win arguments in the comment section. She keeps a low profile in a way that feels intentional, not distant. It's not that she hides, she shows up when it matters, but she knows exactly how much to give and when to step back. That's rare, especially in an industry where staying visible is often treated like a full-time job. She rarely gives interviews, and when she does, they tend to stay focused on the work. There is not much fishing for viral sound bites. It's more of a say what needs to be said and move on approach. She might talk about her process on a film or what it was like shooting a certain scene, but she's not going to break into long stories about her dating life or who unfollowed who. That discipline keeps the focus on what she's actually doing, whether it's acting, producing, or working with a brand, rather than what's happening around her. That kind of consistency hasn't protected her image, it's helped her build strong ties behind the scenes. Studios and brands keep working with her because she shows up, gets the job done, and doesn't create problems. It sounds simple, but in entertainment, where egos can slow everything down, that kind of reliability is gold. When Disney cast her in Hawkeye, there was a reason they trusted her with a character that could anchor future stories. She had the resume, sure, but also the reputation to back it up. Even on social media, where most celebrities are in a constant cycle of promoting and reacting, Hailee keeps a measured rhythm. She'll post behind-the-scenes shots or shout-out collaborators, but she's not uploading every part of her life. There's no pressure to be on all the time. That makes what she does post land harder. It feels intentional, not performative. So what does all of this add up to? Not just fame, but a powerful, self-managed brand that's quietly pulling in millions. Hailee Steinfeld isn't one of those celebrities who constantly makes headlines for the size of her bank account, but if you'll take a look at how she's built her career, it's clear she's playing the long game. Her estimated net worth sits somewhere between $15 million and $20 million, depending on the source. That number may not scream billionaire, but the key is where that money is coming from and where it's going. She's not relying on a single paycheck. Acting, music, brand deals, producing, each area feeds into the next. And because she's careful about what she says yes to, her reputation stays strong, which keeps the offers coming. Her work in Dickinson with Apple not only earned her praise but solidified a relationship with a major streaming platform. That kind of connection pays off down the line, and it's no surprise that future projects tied to Apple or even Netflix are expected, with her name attached not just as talent, but as someone who can lead a production. Then there's the music. While she hasn't released a full album, her singles and EPs continue to rack up streaming numbers in the millions. In early 2024, she teased new music on social media, just enough to stir interest without over-promising. She's taken her time with music, and while that might frustrate some fans, it's also why her catalog holds up. She's not flooding the market, she's making sure each release fits where she is creatively and professionally. Hailee's also known to be smart with her earnings. No over-the-top splurging, no tabloid stories about reckless spending. She invests quietly, reportedly with an interest in wellness and fashion ventures. And while details about her equity stakes are limited, those kinds of silent partnerships often end up being the most profitable. She may not have the loudest public profile, but that's part of the strategy. She is not chasing viral moments, she is building stability. Between the acting, the music, the production roles, the brand partnerships, she is set up for long-term success. She may not flash the lifestyle, but make no mistake, Hailee Steinfeld's empire is very real. If you have the talent, discipline, and control to build your own empire, what would it look like? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.